comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I got back from the little Canberra holiday last night and I'm cooked today. We got back at 9 p.m. I was shotgunning fucking coffees the whole time. By the time I got home, I had to do the potty, so I fucking had a coffee. And I wasn't able to fall asleep till like 2 a.m. Then I was up at 5:30 and it was a brutal day today. I don't even know what happened today. It was just so like surreal. I was so sleep deprived that I was in that like in between world all day. I tell you what, I used to be able to just pull all-nighters at will. It didn't bother me at all, and I wasn't that wrecked. Like, I was wrecked, but I wasn't that wrecked. But having said that, I was never actually going to work. I was just pulling an all-nighter. All-night drinking. It's a little bit different than staying up all night and having to go to work for 12 hours. Oh, yeah, we found out about the union today as well, which was also a little bit of a hallucination. So, turns out that the project I'm working on is covered by the CFMEU, which is the big construction union, but they only have jurisdiction above ground and building things. So it covers these sites that I'm working on at the moment and a couple of others, but all these projects are meant to be done by November. So like we've got like a few months left, and then we go underground, like proper underground. And in the underground tunnels, that is covered by a different union, the Australian Workers Union. And the CFMEU and the Australian Workers Union don't like each other at all. So there's no fucking like crossover at all. So today the big boss comes in and explained it all to us, saying we have project-specific EBAs to sign, but the projects we're working on where the CFMEU is in charge, we're only going to be on these sites for another few months. So we're looking at another EBA agreement with another fucking union. To be honest with you, I don't give a flying fuck either way anymore. So yeah, anyway, the fucking trip went well. Took the kids to the snow. Yeah, the snow. We went to this place in Canberra called Corinne Park or Forest or some shit like that. And it's only like half an hour or 40 minutes out of Canberra. And on the drive out there, I was like, is there going to be any snow out there? And we're driving and it's sunny and it's hot. And I'm like, are we going to the snow? Like we're 18 minutes away from the snow and I'm still in like a t-shirt. And it turns out this place we're going to is like a blob of snow, man-made snow in the middle of just a hill. It's on a hill. There's like 20 of those man-made fucking snow machines, the big fan things, and they must just light them up overnight. And there's like this little patch of snow in the middle of like a sunny hill. And like it was fun. It was still cool. I wouldn't call it the snow though, but the kids have seen snow now. I made it like a fucking Frosty the Snowman, and that really showcased how badly my hands are deteriorating from this fucking job. I feel like I've got arthritis in every joint, and digging into snow with your bare hands is not the fucking way to go. But it was fun. Canberra was cool. Whatever. What fucking ever. It was more about the Tesla for me. Just fucking gunning it. I've probably got fucking $4,000 worth of fines from that drive. Anyway, it's Monday, baby, and you know what that means. It's Ask Boyle time. So, if you have a question you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of the generation or any generation, comedian, philosopher, crane operator, waterproofer. Le Boyle, then head to my website, boylecomedy.com. That's where you're going to find everything. We're going to find Ask Boyles. Send in your Ask Boyles there. We're going to find fucking Fucked Up Fridays. We need stories, so send in your stories. And while you're there, the most important thing of the lot is the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon. The Degenny Diaries are coming back. I've just had fucking people pull out and fall through, and fucking all the backups pulling out, and then people I just randomly message can't do it. So there's been a little bit of a hold up. It would probably be easier if you just message me on the Patreon. Tell me that you want to be interviewed, and I'll fucking give you a date and we'll lock it in. It's going to be Sundays that I do the interviews. And actually, I have a day off this Monday. So Sunday and Monday, I can fucking bang out a couple. So get on the Patreon for the Degenny Diaries. It's £1 a month. It goes to me. All of it goes to me. So fucking just do it. Anyway, let's get to this week's Ask Boyle. So I've actually had a fucking few pretty good Ask Boyles recently. And I was thinking I need to clear the inventory because some of them are ones you got to answer. So I'll do one today just because I'm too fucking tired. But if I fall flat and don't have much to talk about in the coming days, then I might bang out another Ask Boyle or two. Because there's a couple I'd like to answer. But this is the most prescient. Is that the word? I don't know. I don't really care either. I don't really care about words anymore. I used to care. I used to care about sounding smart or whatever. Really care. Yeah, I really cared. I cared enough never to retain any words. Anyway, we got an Ask Boyle sent in by fucking the gunsmith himself, Justice Powell, out there in bumfuck USA. So, Justice, his question is this. Are you going to watch Joe Rogan's special? And if so, tell us why it sucked. Well, Justice, you have come to the right place. I'll read this out to you. So, I haven't watched it. I haven't got through any more than maybe 6 minutes of a Joe Rogan special ever. So I knew what to expect. But on the day it was released, John Doerr, he's still alive, by the way, he sent me a message on WhatsApp, a photo of Joe Rogan burn the boats on his computer, and he's like, it's time. And then he gave me a running commentary, and this is how it went. First joke, Texas weed is strong. Second, Texas gas stations, someone had cocaine and was like, I want to make a gas station. Joke 3. Aliens, something, something. If I was an alien, I'd abduct meth heads. And then he just writes, rough. Fourth joke. Alien anal probe, so your story is weird and no one believes you, but what if it makes you jizz and you're like, oh, wow. Then you don't tell anyone. People are like, what happened next? You're like, nothing. So that's 4 jokes in and I'm like, I'm out. Joke 5, donkey jizz is collected by putting cattle prod in your ass and shocking their prostate. What that feel like? You don't want to know, because what if that's your thing? and then Doerr writes, getting tired. And then he goes, he said COVID stuff and the audience all jizzed. Dudes jerking off on Zoom calls, not bad. Telling Rogan his special is great will be Ari's last test. If he can manage it, he deserves the world. And what he means there is there's this fucking Estonian comedian. He was down in Melbourne. We used to do open mics with him. and he's just like started blowing up. He was on Rogan the other day. He's on Kill Tony all the time. Like, he's really blowing up. He's a good dude as well. Anyway, that's Rogan's special. But I can tell you why it sucked. Joe Rogan hasn't had honest feedback, like legitimate, honest feedback from like other comedians or the crowd for too long. Possibly ever. It could be like 30 years since he's had some like truly honest feedback. Because you got to remember, when he started comedy as well, he was a black belt world champion fucking karate cunt. He was a kickboxer meathead. So like, not too many people were like, you fucking suck, you stink, shut up with that fucking open mic shit. And over the years, progressively, it just gets more and more insular, and your ability to course correct is diminished the more and more successful you get. And no one is more successful than fucking Joe Rogan. So, like, if you're a comedian trying to make a career out of comedy and Joe Rogan asks, what do you think of this joke? You're fake laughing. Don't worry about it. That is amazing. I've never heard a funnier joke in my entire life. Jesus Christ. That anal probe thing, that is sent down from heaven. It goes Joe Rogan's anal probe joke and the Fifth Symphony by fucking Beethoven or whoever the fuck wrote that. I don't know. Bach? No, I think it's Beethoven. You know what I mean? Like, to get truly honest, course-correcting feedback, you need to be unknown doing open mics to like 8 people like I did the other night. I'm not saying I'm the greatest comedian of all time, but I'm up there. But if you go watch a Joe Rogan special from 10, 12, 20 years ago and watch his latest special, you'll notice that he has not improved as a comedian at all in 20 years, which is shocking. It's almost superhuman. And yet you'll find many, many people praising his comedy, saying he's a murderer. I actually saw him at the Comedy Store, his home base in LA. And he was getting laughs, but they just weren't real laughs. I was like, can he tell that these people are just laughing because it's Joe Rogan? I'm like, surely he can tell the difference, because like the texture and the sound of the laughs he was getting compared to like Joey Diaz, who came on and just fucking annihilated. Like, it's a completely different sound. It's a completely different fucking thing. And I'm like, does he know? And I was always like, surely he does, but none of his specials seem to indicate that. And having said all that, it doesn't really matter anymore, because like comedy has become more like a cult of personality than it is actual comedy anymore. People are coming out to see the personality. Like, you got the Joe Rogan, so he's got the UFC fans, he's got the podcast fans, he's got the weed fans, he's got the DMT fans, he's got everything. Like, there isn't a base he hasn't got covered. And you look at all the rest of the cunts that are selling like crazy tickets. It's all like the personality people, like Andrew Schultz. His comedy started off pretty good, those clips that he was putting out. And now everything he does is just hack. But they're coming out to see him. The same with Matt Rife. No one gives a fuck about his comedy. It's over. They're just coming to see a hot dude fucking whatever. I don't even know what he's doing up there, pretending to tell jokes. It doesn't matter. Comedy doesn't matter anymore. A true jokesmith, craftsman is not going to sell a fucking ticket. The people who sell tickets are the personality. You got Bert Kreischer as well, who hasn't said anything funny in like 15 years. He's just a train wreck alcoholic that sells out like literal fucking acreages. Like he just sells out like stadiums. I don't know exactly what that is either. This like full cult of personality comedy thing. It's almost like people just are craving to be part of something. I don't know. I just wish more people were craving to to see Le Boyle fucking live. I wish they were lining up around the fucking corner to see Le Boyle live, but they're not. Le Boyle live at the fucking tunnel. So yeah, once you're selling out Madison Square Garden and you're doing actual baseball stadiums, your comedy's not going to be great. The feedback, the course correction isn't going to be like available to you. Like no one's sticking their neck out. Like no one was sticking their neck out with Hitler, were they? They weren't like, hey, let's just ease up on the Jews, you reckon? Like a little bit? No. You just agree. You're just like, all right, fucking, let's go with it. And then you collectively end up with some of the worst comedy fucking ever done. And a Holocaust if you don't stick your neck out and say things like this. So, which I'm doing now. This is a career killer for me. But I'm here. I'm here to save the Jews and comedy. Anyway, fucking thanks for the question, Justice. That'll do for tonight, and I'll see ya the fuck later.